So, yeah, I believe that there are multiple gates, which means that there's multiple entryways in order for you to get to your destination, right? So if like you're on a highway and you know where you're going, you know what destination you're going to, you know that you're going south or you're going north or you're going east or you're going west. And even within different directions along, say you're going east, along that direction, you know that you're getting off at a certain stop, right? So you know that, okay, it's going to take me 7 miles to get to my destination, right? So you're driving, or you're riding and someone else is driving. But in this case, let's say you're driving and you're looking back and forth, just looking, enjoying your ride, as you're driving, and you're looking and it's saying, okay, 7 miles before you have to go to whatever section, right? Whatever destination that is. 7 miles. So you driving on this highway. And then before you know it, it's down to 4.8 miles. And you said, okay, I got to keep going. Just keep going. And you just keep going. Then before you know it, it's, I don't know, 2.7 miles. And then you just keep going. So then you notice that as you're going along, there's other stops for other individuals that are going to they're going east as well, but they're going to a different destination as you. So being that they're going to a different destination, therefore their mileage is different from yours. So you would get off at that exit if you were going to that destination, right? So even though you guys are all going in the same direction as east, at the end of the day, it's still a different destination that you guys are going to. So with that being different destinations, even though you're all going to the same direction, right, in the same passage, in the same way, you're still understanding that there's different gates to get to where you want to get to, right? Not everybody's going the same way that you're going. Not everyone is ending up in the same destination you're ending up in. But at the same sense, in the same time, you know where you're going. You know how long it's going to take you because you have the signs that's telling you you're 3 miles away from your destination if you're going such and such to this destination, right? Others know that they are using their tracking on their phone. They're using the GPS system, whatever the case may be. They're also using the signages that are outside along this highway. So if you know that your destination is east and you know exactly where you're going, why in the world would you ever get off at someone else who's driving literally on the opposite side of you, or say your left or your right, even if you're in the center, in the right lane or the center lane? Why would you get off at someone else's destination? We can sit down and say, oh, they're distractions, right? We can sit down and say that they're lessons. And these are things that I have to learn in order for me to be able to pick back up and make it to my destination. But when you're driving and you have somewhere to be, you're not thinking I'm going to get off at this stop unless there's a necessity, unless you need to use the restroom. So you say, okay, I get off at a truck stop and I get off at this rest stop where I know that there's a restroom. Or I get off here because I know that I'm hungry. But you're getting right back in your vehicle and you're going to your destination. So when I say that individuals are multiple gates, right, and the multiple gateways to different destinations, some individuals you have to stop there. The same way you have to stop and get off in order for you to use the restroom, or in order for you to get to gas back up, or in order for you to actually get a bite to eat, or in order for you to actually just take a nap because you've been driving for so long. But they're still not your destination. What I have been noticing and what I've been learning even myself, and I may be far away from home, but sometimes you have to end up in a different destination, right? Or end up in a situation where you had to stop from going along with your destination. You had to get off the highway in order to fuel back up, in order to use the restroom, in order to get a bite to eat. So by you doing these things, it does not stop you from getting to where you have to get to. And you're not sitting back thinking, oh my gosh, I spent an hour in the bathroom, right? Or I spent an hour taking a nap, or I spent an hour at a rest stop, right? Only reason why you'll be thinking that is as if you had to get to that destination at a certain time. But that's not how this works, actually, in my own idea and concept of it, my own point of view. I don't feel that granted, we don't know when we're going, but in the same sense, you had to get off at that stop. Now, there are times where they're tantalizing. You're not even hungry, but you see, oh, they got this here, or I don't have this where I'm going for the other place. So let me stop because it was too eat, and you feel sluggish, then you're like, oh, I gotta take a nap. Or no, that food messed up my stomach, so now I have to use the bathroom, so now I gotta get off again. I believe that there are individuals, their gates, their situations that occur what places you in a predicament or an environment that allows you to feel that you're getting off at this gate. You're stopping at this gate. This gate is my destination. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to end up at. This is it. But it's not. Your destination is exactly what it is that you desire and want. So by you focusing on the things that you think you want, you think is what's best for you at that time, it makes you feel as if that is where I'm supposed to end up at. This is where I'm supposed to be. Or I'm just tired of traveling, so I'm just going to stay here. I'm just going to let this be my destination. But let's not do that. Let's try to peek back into what exactly is that we really desired and wanted from the beginning. So, if you know that you want to be a doctor or you want to be a lawyer, you want these things, but something happens. You wind up getting pregnant, or your parents lose their job, or they lose their home. That doesn't stop you from focusing on your destination. You may feel like it's a minor setback, but majority of the time it's not really a setback. It's setting you up and preparing you for what's going to happen at your destination. So instead of saying, okay, I'm just going to stop. This is beautiful, and this is where I'm going to end up, and I'm not going any further. I'm not going to continue to try to find any more information out on how I can better myself, or how I can become this, or how I can actually execute what it is that my goal is. Because I don't really think it's a sense. At first I was thinking, I don't think the Father needs everybody in the pulpit. I think the Father needs everyone to play the role that they desire. So if you desire to become a lawyer, perhaps the environments and the situations and the things that you've endured in all the passages and all the gateways that you didn't allow yourself to kind of be tempted and to walk into places you in a predicament to understand the individuals that you are going to represent. He wouldn't put you in environments and situations if he didn't feel that you can learn something from that. If he didn't feel that you can gain some aspect of that. So along your way, it's going to help you and prepare you for what it is that you're supposed to be executing, which is your true ultimate desire, your true dream. And I believe the more you go after it, and the more that you desire and hunger for it and want it, and the more you actually form it into reality and do your alchemy, then why would it not come true for you? So instead of looking at these tempting offers, these little quick stops off, little quick exits off of the gateway, the highway, don't focus so much on the fact that you had to get off and you was set back a few years, or you was set back in an environment or situation. It grew you. It strengthened you. It prepared you. So you got off at that stop. You had that meal and had that food because you knew where you was going. They don't even have that restaurant there, right? You know that this restaurant is only like Midwest, so it's only south. It's not even east, nor is it any further up north where you're going. So you stop to get off to enjoy that meal. Don't be so militant to think that God is not going to give you opportunities and predicaments and situations in order for you to be able to actually enjoy something while you're learning. I think we all get so caught up with the fact, like, well, I want this and I need this to happen right now. This needs to happen before I turn 25. This needs to happen before this happens. But in order for you to become that great, and in order for you to become that amazing, in order for you to be fully well-rounded and literally equipped for your blessing, there's always trials and tribulations, right? But in the same sense, all of that prepares you. So it strengthens you and it prepares you. And I'm not saying that those who have received things so quickly that they wouldn't know how to handle it, but we've all seen such sad stories in these cases. So when I got down here, someone was telling me, a coworker was telling me how this gentleman, she used to go, because she partied a lot, whatever, back in the day, and she was telling me how she used to go, we was driving by this mansion, and I was like, oh, this is nice. And she's like, yeah. She's like, such and such lived here. He played football. And I was at a few of his parties. I was like, oh, really? She's like, yeah. Which is not surprising to me, because a lot of her stories, from what she told me from back in the day, she partied a lot, so she always had a story. And I was like, wow, that's so interesting. And she's like, but, he wound up losing all his money. And she's like, they robbed his house. It was just a big thing down here. And I was like, that's so sad. And it's like, you can get it and it's fast and it's great and it's hot and it's coming in and you love it and it's joyful, but then you're not really prepared for what comes after it. So then you place trust in individuals who actually you can't really trust. Then you don't know how to be able to be equipped and to be able to run these different blessings that are coming your way. So what I'm learning with myself is it's okay that I made a few stops on the highway. I learned a lot. Am I gonna miss the environments and the predicaments and the situations and the beautiful atmosphere and the lakes and the trees and all the wildlife? Yes. But it's like he prepares you and equips you for what you need in order for you to be able to execute what you ultimately desire. And like my sister has said to me, she's like, you can always go back, once you are able to establish yourself, once you're able to have what you to be able to actually take care of yourself and establish yourself, you can always return. And I feel like he would place you in predicaments and situations and environments where you get off at that stop, and even though the restroom might not be the best restroom that you're getting off that stop at, but you know that your bladder is so full from all the stuff that you've been drinking while you were driving on your way. So, but you able to use the bathroom, so you're able to do what you have to do. So, and then you might get to another stop and you're like, oh my gosh, like I said, they have this food that I never had before, and I heard about this restaurant, it's only located here, let me try it. So even though you're in situations and predicaments where you may not be at your destination, but you're able to feed yourself, you're able to use the restroom, but at the same time you're able to enjoy certain experiences while you're learning. And when he is building you up in your spirit and preparing you for this never-ending battle of spiritual warfare, you are being prepped and prepared for something. I don't even want to use the word grooming, because the way that they used it is so unfortunate. But yeah, he's preparing you. And even those that are around you, family members, friends, they're all being prepped for whatever their plan is, whatever the execution assignment is for them. And you say, well, why this one is so difficult? Why is this happening to me? Why? And then you stop for a moment and stop asking why and start accepting and asking yourself, what have you learned from this situation? What have you learned from this environment? What I learned is peace is extremely important. It's very powerful. To be able to be peace when you walk into a room, when you walk into somebody's house, to embody that energy is amazing. To watch individuals have so much, and I mean as so much as a materialistic value, but their spirit is unclean, but they have no peace. You don't feel angels with them, walking with them, protecting them, guiding them. You don't feel that. Children are not running to greet them. Random animals are not running to greet them. You don't feel that. And they don't have that. So at the end of the day, it's like peace is amazing, right? He's the father of peace. So it's like to be able to embody that, to be able to hold that within yourself, to know that you have that, amazing. Just beautiful, amazing, dope, just an excellent experience to be able to embody that. So appreciate the madness, appreciate enjoy the view, because it's beautiful. It's beautiful to come to a place that is known for wildlife, known for the water, known for the beautiful sunniness, known for all of this amazing gorgeous greenery, and to learn some volatile lessons, to experience some situations where individuals have tried to remove your soul from your body numerous times, to experience so much spiritual warfare that you don't quite understand. But then you have to stop acting, like I said, stop asking yourself why and start saying, I get it. I got this. Like, you got this. You wouldn't be placed in this spiritual God's boot camp if it wasn't for a reason. And like I stated before, not everybody's sermon is going to be in a pulpit. Not everybody is supposed to have a church. Maybe your church is your stage. Maybe your stage is when you get on there and you're greeting people when they come into your store. Or your stage is when you get on a platform and you're on YouTube or whatever streaming service and you're talking about whatever. Maybe your stage is when you're standing in front of a bunch of third graders and you're their teacher and you're making an impression on them that is going to be everlasting for them to always pull back to and say, hey, I can pull myself up. I can do this. I know that my teacher from third grade used to tell me this, and this is a mantra that I'm going to constantly repeat over and over and over to myself, even as I'm 60 years old and I'm running a corporation. I'm not saying to not hold tight to your dreams, but I'm also saying that he's preparing you for environments and rooms and individuals that you're going to meet along the way. But actually what's supposed to happen once you get to that destination is you're prepared for that blessing. You're prepared for everything that's coming your way because he already equipped you. You already then went through that spiritual boot camp. You already then went through so many spiritual warfare lessons. You already been receiving the high ranks that is going to continue to move you forward in spirit. He's already placing you and removing all of that needs to be removed from you in order for you to be able to move forward and do what it is that you got to do, because if he's dwelling in you, therefore there's a reason that he chose you to do his work. And like I stated before, your sermon does not have to be preached in a church. Your sermon can be preached when you sit down and you talk to a friend who's feeling like she can't go any further. Your sermon is the fact that he's taking the time to dwell in you, to place himself in you in order for you to keep moving forward, in order for you to inspire so many other individuals so that they can move forward and see, dang, he went through this and he's still good. She went through this and she's still popping. Do not let a pit stop decide exactly what's going to happen for your destination. Don't let a pit stop decide what your goals are, what your dreams are. Don't let a pit stop decide if you're going to go further in life, if you're going to accomplish the things that you know that you set out to accomplish. Don't let a pit stop decide that what you dreamed about when you were 7 years old does not count anymore. What you wrote down on that paper when you was 8 years old that you still carry around with you to this day, decide that that has no value anymore. You don't need to burn that paper. You don't need to throw that paper away. You had that dream twisted to you for a reason, so therefore that dream is still alive in you. Just because it may be taking longer, you look at others and you think, well, they've obtained it, but they also stole from others as well to obtain that. Which really grinds my gears. It's like, but at the same sense, don't let the confliction and the negativity that's being thrown at you set in your heart. Don't allow your heart to turn to stone. Don't allow yourself to feel that this is it and this is all that I can obtain. It doesn't matter if you have 2-3 children attached to your hip. It doesn't matter if you just experienced bankruptcy. It doesn't matter if you're homeless. It doesn't matter about any of those things, because it's strengthening your character. It's strengthening your spirit, man. It's making you equipped for what blessing is coming your way. Stay focused and keep your eye on your prize, and your prize is your dream. Allow that goal to be executed, because even though to them it seems like you're not moving forward, but who gives a care about what they think and what they see? They have their own lane in their own vehicle. Stay focused on where you at. You're in your vehicle and you're driving. You know that you got 6.7 miles before you make it to your destination. If you have to use the restroom, get off at the pit stop, use the restroom. If you want to discover and eat this food that you know about, that you have been already looking at for so long, stop and go and do that. Enjoy the view along the passage, along the highway. Enjoy what you're seeing as you're continuing to make it to your destination. You can still be laser focused and still appreciate the water, and still appreciate the trees, and still appreciate the wildlife. This need to rush, you're not obtaining anything. You're not absorbing it. You're just consuming it. And why would you take the time out to consume something without understanding? It's like you're opening up a book and you're reading, but you're not understanding what you're reading. So then you find yourself going back and again and again and again to read the same exact page over and over. Don't let confliction be your only motivation. Don't let your heart turn to stone because of the things that you've endured and what you've seen. Don't let all of these trials and tribulations and tests and pit stops stop you from the fact that you're still got laser focus and you're still going to make it to your destination. Don't let it turn your heart to stone. Don't let it change you. He wouldn't place these dreams in you if he didn't feel that you can obtain them. If he himself didn't believe in you, if God didn't believe in you, you wouldn't have these dreams inside you. You wouldn't have a need or desire or want to be a part of that, to create that. He's dwelling in you in order for you to be able to execute what it is that he sees that you can do. He doesn't have what you have. He doesn't have a walking vessel down here. So if God is for you, then who else can be against you? Like, do not pay attention to them. Like, fade it out. Stay focused on the fact that you had to take some steps back. And not even take some steps back. You had to get off at a few pit stops in order to obtain what you need to obtain. And to get yourself ready and right to the next goal, so that you can actually make it to your destination. Because what would have happened if you'd have stayed driving and you know you had to use the restroom? What would have happened if you'd have stayed driving and you know that you were tired? What happened if you'd have stayed driving and you knew that you were hungry? Give yourself grace and know that these environments and these situations and these trials and tribulations are happening to better you and to strengthen your soul and prepare you for what is to come. But if you sit back and you say, okay, this is it, I'm not going to go any further, I'm not going to accept anything, I'm just going to stay laser focused and not even live and not be a part of life, then you're missing out on the fact that you don't just obtain and consume information, by just reading a book. You contain and consume information by understanding what you're reading. So don't just blindly consume, absorb, and understand why these situations are occurring, why these trials and tribulations are happening. It is, of course, to strengthen your spirit, man, and it's to better you, but at the same time, it's prepping you for your blessing that's coming. So don't think because you had to get off at a pit stop that you're never going to make it to your destination. Just get back in your vehicle and keep driving. No matter how long it takes, still go after what it is that you really want. Still hold tight and fast to the fact that you have goals and dreams and aspirations. Don't just decide because of everything that's been occurring that's just going to stop you. No, he saw that you can continue to keep going forward, even if he gives you a little bit more information, even if he pours some more into you. He felt, yes, you needed this at this time. At this hour, this is what you needed to understand. At this hour, this is what you needed to obtain. At this moment in your life, you were going in a different direction. You wasn't even about to make it. You was going west. So therefore, I need you to get off, and I need you to take a pit stop. I need you to go to the restroom, get yourself right. I need you to get yourself something to eat. I need you to gas back up. I need you to get back on the road.